qualities does a good leader require? Of course, each leader would definitely be different as well, right? So we cannot always have the same qualities, but there's generally few qualities that is the same for, each good leaders. So one is that a good leader is definitely inspirational. So a very good leader can inspire people to actually do things and do more. I'm very fortunate that I know a few people in my community who are like that, like my very good friend and inspires her, fellow countrymen in Vietnam, like in hundreds of, people, not just one or two, but she's that influential. So she's the first person that I can think of when I think about someone who's very inspirational as well. And I used to have my ex-boss and mentor as well, who is super inspirational. And then, like Douglas, who guested in one of my episodes in the past, he's also very inspirational and he's a trainer. He has influenced a lot of people, in his work as well. So there's a lot, and I'm super grateful to be surrounded by a lot of these good leaders who can inspire people, and I model, each one of them. So that's one of the qualities. So someone who is inspirational. And then another thing is, I think I mentioned this, is a good leader can communicate well. We are social beings, right? We need each other to actually accomplish bigger things in life. So you know what they say, right? Like you can do very well by yourself, but you can go very, very far when you're actually working with a team. And a good leader is able to, organize a group of people so that they can achieve things that are much, much bigger than what one person can achieve. And so that's a very, very good quality to have if you can communicate really, really well. It doesn't matter whether you are speaking in different languages, or as long as you communicate something that is very clear and people can understand you, then that is the essence of it, right? That's the essence of it. And then what else? I think another, and this may or may not be kind of like necessary, but a lot of times a very good leader is also visionary. So a very good leader basically, dreams big. And immediately I can think of Martin Luther King, who is able to, dream bigger, like for the Black people. And I'm sure in your culture, there are many examples as well. But there are people who can visualize the future very clearly. And then, the second thing that I talked about is ability to communicate really, really well, is they can paint a picture of the future very clearly. That's a quality of a good leader as well. So if they can visionary, right? I think those are the top three things that I can think of having as a good leader. Another thing that I think I can add as a bonus, this is something that is being, I love Gary Vaynerchuk, and he doesn't only talk about marketing, but he also talks about how he is as a boss, right? And he teaches this to other people, is that he said, once you understand as a boss that you actually work for your employees and not the other way around. So meaning he is the one serving his employees and not his employees serving him. And so he said that once you recognize that, once you get that, then it's game over, because your staff, your employees will follow you everywhere. So that's another bonus thing that I think you can take on, and is that a very good leader has the ability to put down themselves and serve their followers, right? And they serve their followers. So those are like amazing qualities. And I don't want to give a lot because your mind will be like, oh, which one do I do? So just those four is really, really enough, right? What was the hardest decision you have taken as a leader? A lot, actually. I experienced a lot of first times in my life. So because I started different businesses by myself, I started business with my family, I started business with partners. And so I experienced a lot of first time. I would think that the answer to this is firing people. But the first time I had to fire people, and it's actually two people, it was actually quite easy for me. And because they gave me very good reasons to fire them, it was actually harder for for my parents. But it was a family business. So that is not the answer to that. I think the hardest decision I had to take was to part ways with business partners. I think, business partnership is like a relationship. So it's like, having girlfriend, boyfriend, or wife or husband. And, normally the businesses that I start with people that I know are people that I particularly know very well, right? I have very close relationship with. And so when things didn't go well for us in terms of partnership, and so it was very, very difficult. In fact, instead of talking about it and really confronting it, the problem, it dragged longer. I think it dragged to about another year before I decided, okay, no, this one really cannot. We have to sit down and, talk about it and be provocable and really, say what needs to be said so that everything is clear. But at the end of it, there were still decisions to be made. And of course, that is really the hard part, having to really be authentic and communicate whatever is really, really happening and not just, gloss over it. So yeah, I think that is the hardest decision that I had to take as a leader, as someone who was leading the company, our team. I couldn't like take it anymore and then move forward without talking about it. And so that's what happened. So we talked about it. And I'm sure every leader would have their own, hard decisions they need to take. Is learning from other examples necessary to cultivate your own leadership style? Okay, one, I think I mentioned this like modeling, right? Modeling is one way to develop your leadership skills or maybe get to understand your own leadership style. I wouldn't say it's necessary, but it's a great way to do it, right? It's a great way to do it, but it's not necessary. So, which means there are other ways to find out how you can cultivate your own leadership style. So, one way is really getting feedback. When you already have a team and you are leading them from time to time, maybe every 3 months, or it can be even every month. It really depends on you, and ask them, so how am I, as a leader, how am I leading you all? What are the things that I'm doing right, or what are the things I'm doing wrong, or what else can I improve on? And if you can constantly reevaluate yourself, then slowly and slowly you will find that, oh, actually this is my leadership style and this is what works. Each and every person will be different, because some leaders will be like very vocal, like very commanding, and like they are like those speakers like, follow me to the to the future. And then there will be other leaders who show it by demonstrating it. They are very good at executing. And when people see that, ooh, wow, Kirk is actually doing this and he is doing it really, really well and really, really good, then they start to follow you as well. Like, that's how to do it. So there are many ways of actually leading people. And by reevaluating yourself, you can find out more. So it's not really necessary from looking at other examples, but you can reevaluate yourself as well. Oh, hey there. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to click the bell button so you get updated of the new videos. See you in the next one.